Yo, what's good? This Gip.
It's James Worthy.
And right now we on Industry's Most Wanted podcast.
Sitting on top of the world, yeah. Smoke a blunt with your baby girl, yeah. I had to find who I really was in my life, but you came in my world and in my sight. Tell me how to move with you without giving a heartbreak.
What's going on, man? It's your girl, Tampa Mystic, and we are live on the Industry's Most Wanted Hype Me Up podcast in the building.
Yeah.
Listen, I got some real ATLians checking in, you know what I'm saying? Well, you're from New York.
Yeah, I'm from New
We
York.
discussed this
but,
already.
I've been in Atlanta so long, I feel like I'm a part of the culture.
That's East Side.
You know, it's so funny. When I did an interview with him before, I was talking about how New York people be a little fast and rude sometimes. He's like, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I just stuck my foot in my mouth.
He ain't nothing like that.
Nah, I ain't nothing like that.
He's definitely nothing like that. Shout out to James Worthy. Appreciate you being here.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Boom.
fam.
Boom.
Hey, baby
Big
girl.
Gip in the building.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Man, you guys, really don't need no introduction. If somebody don't know who you guys are, I don't know. They sleeping under a rock, whatever.
Under a
we,
rock.
hey, and we about to drag them out. So go ahead and give us that official introduction.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? This is James Worthy. Like she said, I'm from Queens, New York. Been in this game a long time, man. Recording artist, producer, songwriter, sold a couple million in records.
Yeah.
A couple Grammys here and there. We do this.
Pop yo ish. Pop yo ish.
But we here for the new right now.
That's right. Absolutely. We got a lot to talk about because you guys have been working on some stuff, and then we're going to take it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Big Gip, man. It's always a pleasure to be in your presence.
What's going on, Miss Lady? It's all good. Everybody, this Big Gip from Goody Mob, Dungeon Family, man. Years in the game, like James said, millions sold, and yeah. We here doing some new stuff now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys have a new EP out. We're going to definitely talk about that. Man, but I just want to for even if it's for 5 minutes, just dive back because I really want people to understand the history of how you guys came together.
Yeah.
I think that's important. You got the new Gip and Worthy EP that's out.
Mm-hmm.
Solid.
Thank you.
I'm in love with it because, you always came with the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Big Gip did, but on a different side. This brought out a little bit different side of you that I'm just like, I'm loving it.
Oh,
That's
man.
that grown man-ish.
Yeah, it's grown, man. Simply because the album was really like a blank canvas when we started.
Yeah.
The first song, Top of the World, that's how I met James Worthy, called to the studio, and that was the first song we did, and then it turned into two other songs, Night Drive and another record called TikTok. That was his last album. And we just started recording records probably at the end of last year. And it just brought out a new side of me. This is the first time that I ever went into music saying that I'm going to talk to women on every song.
Yeah.
So that's what we got, a new presentation from Gip.
And
Art.
Yeah.
that, I felt that. Because, let's just take it back for a minute. As we discussed earlier, we in the same age bracket.
Right.
We both Taurus season, you know what I'm saying? I graduated in 92.
Mm-hmm.
You've been active in the business since about 91.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a really heavy influence on me coming, out of my high school years into my early 20s. Is when I really dived into music.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in Tampa, we had a club called Club Atlanta, ironically.
Yeah.
And I remember people don't dance no more. All they do is this. All they do is this. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the biggest songs in my city.
Oh,
you know
right.
what I'm saying? During that time. And it's like, I get chills thinking about it because I'm like, I feel so humbled and grateful and thank you, God, that I was able to see that era of music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And thank you and the whole Dungeon family for producing such great music that literally touched the world.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Most definitely. And same thing with you, man. Gosh, you're hit after hit, but not just on you being an artist, you produce and do so many other things as well.
True that.
And just through history, let me ask you this, Big Gip, before we get in talking about this new EP. Because I get a lot of independent artists that sit down with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them desire to be in the business as long as you have been.
Mm-hmm.
What is the key to that, to longevity, sustaining longevity in this music business?
I would just say doing what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Doing what makes you happy. At the end of the day, the more you bring to the table, the less you got to ask for.
Yeah.
And love the art of making music and not the process of making money from it.
Yes.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Because it'll drive you to work with new artists and create with other producers. Whereas a person that's just driven by money, you will get caught up in the fad. Once that fad over, you might not want to do it anymore.
Right.
Me personally, I love all music. So music is the only thing that drives me. So when I come across a special person like James Worthy,
Yeah.
I instantly pay attention just because of the way that he crafts his music.
Man. And he's such a humble person too.
I mean, he reminds me so much of one of my teachers, Yoda, from Organized Noise. So that's the person that taught me how to rap and anything about music. So I instantly kind of like I take hold of people who got that kind of air and carry themselves like that.
Yeah.
They're usually always geniuses.
He is a genius too.
Well, thank you.
You know, and just a phenomenal businessman as well.
Thank you.
Like we do such good business together.
Yes, we do.
And it's rare that you meet people who've seen the success that you have that are just so humble.
I mean, you know, I come from the time of like your work speak for
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I mean? Like I never been one to really just go out and showboat and let, you know, me do all the talking.
Yeah.
You know, I did this, I did that, you know, like that get old.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So my thing is my craft and my music speak for itself
Yeah.
because, you know, if it didn't, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But also too, I'm just I just believe in humility.
Yeah.
And I believe that, you know, everybody has it in them. It's just what you've been taught.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just been taught by some of the greats.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate enough.
I think it's important when you coming into this business, you have to mentor with some of the OGs that have been doing this for a while. And something that Gipp said a minute ago, you have to fall in love with this.
Yeah.
Bigger Rankin told me when I first got in the business, and it's always stuck with me, is if you're in this music business for the money, you're going to be disappointed because the money ain't always going to be there.
True
Yeah.
that.
True that.
But if you are in it for the love of it, the money's going to come.
yeah.
And I was like,
once it's pure, it's gonna come.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank God someone told me that early on. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So let's talk about this, you know, this EP is called Gipp and Worthy.
Gipp and Worthy.
You know, you guys met during a studio session.
Yes.
You were recording and someone said, I think Gipp's going to be good on the song, right?
Yeah. I was in the studio with Corrupt.
With Corrupt,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, me and Corrupt was in the studio working on Top of the World.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah.
And literally, I had just laid down the hook. He laid down the first verse of the record, and we were trying to figure out how to finish it.
Yeah.
So we were trying to decide if he wanted to do the second verse and maybe do a bridge, or I do a bridge, you know, however we was going to do it. But he kind of brought up the idea of what you think about putting Gipp on the record. And I said that's different because, for one, we never met, and I never knew what his writing style would be on a song like
Right.
that. So I'm like, okay, I would love to see what that sounds like.
Yeah.
So he called him and he pulled up, you know, half an hour later and he wrote his verse on the spot. So that's the beginning of us just being in the same room and actually being on the same song together at the same time.
Man.
So that turned into us just, you know, building a relationship and you know, working on other stuff.
So when you pulled up to that session, what did you expect?
I didn't expect the record that I heard simply
Yeah.
because I know my brother Corrupt. It
Right.
could be anywhere. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah, so it's like I was just expecting something that was probably different and great because Corrupt was interested in the record
Right.
to call me. So just to hear the record, I was totally kind of like blown away because the subject matter that he was talking about I was going through personally. So it was easy for me to just write a verse
Yeah.
right there. So the experience was great. And then just the actual place that we recorded, which was at his crib, it gave me, I was comfortable.
Yeah.
So, you know, after listening to what was going on and finishing the record and hearing the record finished, I was kind of like, this is dope.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, you know, anything happens when you do songs, you know. So, you know, we recorded the song and then Corrupt left and went back to to the west. He went back to Vegas, so it was almost like, well,
You done
shit,
dropped everything.
Well,
Yeah.
Been to Vegas.
yeah, like what we gonna do with this song? Gibb? I was like, we got to finish it. So
Yeah.
he called me to the studio, and I kind of worked on the first verse, and man, the song is finished, and what you hear today is what we put together. It was a dope experience.
Man.
Now, mind you, the production was super different from what y'all hear today.
Yeah.
Like the production was totally different from the first session. So I reproduced everything.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, so the version y'all hear now is just like redoing everything. You know, I had to add the bongos in there. Like that's like the standout part of
Yeah.
like when people listen to the track, they hear the bongos because you
Right.
don't really hear bongos in tracks like that.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that was kind of a thing up to where like, okay, if I'm gonna reproduce it, I gotta really, really like step it up.
Absolutely.
And really like have something that's gonna stand out when you hear it.
Yeah. That's the goal, is to stand out. We ain't trying to fit in. We want to stand out.
Absolutely.
And that's what also gives you so much longevity in this
Oh,
business.
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be a total. I tell people, you got to be a total artist.
Yeah.
You got to be about the stage. You got to be about your presentation. You got to be about what you trying to sell to people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just think a lot of artists these days, just the way the business is set up, it's just like, you know, we had to go through different levels to get to different situations when I came into the game.
Right.
You know, I sat outside the studio for the whole Outkast album, the whole Parental Advisory album, just to be close to a studio and hope Organized Noise
Yeah.
call us in to rap. You know what I mean? So it's like just the things to get into the industry. It's a lot easier. It's you can do a video in your house, upload it right on the internet. We didn't have none of that. So it's like, for me personally, it has to be special.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you have to understand who you are before you can sell anything to anybody.
Man, that's the truth right
fact.
there. If you can't sell yourself on it, how are you going to sell anybody else on it?
Yeah.
And, you know, coming into the music during the era that you did, again, like you said, there was no internet. There was no social media. You really had to get out there in the streets and get it out the mud.
And you had to be the best at what you did.
Yeah.
You know, like now, you know, with so much things, with so many ways to get into the music business, and it's like I said all the time, you could just turn Winnie the Pooh into goddamn anybody. Like
That's true.
Winnie the Pooh could be the best rapper tomorrow
Facts.
if they put the budget on it. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Real.
I'm just from a time where you had to be the best, and anytime you went into that booth, it had to be the best of what you was doing.
Yeah.
It was like we didn't accept just rhyming off the top of the head. No, Organized Noise wouldn't accept that.
Right.
It's like, you're going to write this out, and it's going to be a statement. And if it's not a statement, then you got to start over. And that's just how I was taught.
Right. Absolutely. And if you guys have not seen The Art of Organized Noise, the documentary, it's one of the best ones out there. Most definitely. You know, like, I love documentaries.
Me too.
I love watching people's journey because I learned from that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot that we can take in and learn just watching what other people did and how they became successful.
Yeah.
You know, with that being said, you know, how long would you say you've been in this business on a professional level?
Good 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good 15.
So you've been in it pre a lot of this stuff as well.
Yeah.
Probably right when Instagram was first coming
Yeah,
around.
Like, I mean, when I got in, MySpace was a thing.
Yeah.
MySpace.
I never had a MySpace.
I never got to it either.
I really wasn't even on it. Like, I had a page, but I wasn't really on it. Like,
Yeah.
like I remember when Twitter first came out.
Me
like,
too.
I was on Twitter
I was
heavy.
late on that too, though.
I
didn't
was
get
on
on
that
Twitter.
heavy. I got some of my first early placements through Twitter.
Wow.
Twitter
Yeah.
was a great net. I've met a lot of people that I have solid connections with today through Twitter. I think it was easier to connect with them than it is through Instagram, honestly.
Yeah, cause that was like the pre direct message,
Right.
You know, inbox thing. Like, you know, they had that feature.
Goes down in the DM.
Yeah, it went down in that Twitter DM. But
Oh, so it did. Tell me a couple
it did.
stories I was playing.
it did. Well, I know it did for me. Yeah, I can't speak for everybody else.
He telling on himself right now.
Look, there ain't no secret.
So let me ask you this, Gibb. Being that you came in this business pre-social media and now the social media is out there and it's a bittersweet. Do you feel like it's changed the music business for the better having social media as a luxury for ourselves now?
I just feel like it's just, you know, in this world, I just feel like right now it just gives you the opportunity to promote yourself and to promote the things that you're doing. But making it easier in one way, yes. In another way, it could probably kind of like show all your flaws before you actually ready to be in front of people.
Yeah.
So, I would say it's still a 50-50 thing because some artists is not going to be able to find the right situation or the right song before they blow their whole presentation in front of the audience. Like it's almost like if you in front of that camera too much and you ain't really got nothing to say or none of the music really sticks, then now you just become a meme.
Yeah.
And that's the difference that I think of today. It works for some and some it kills.
Yeah.
So I just really think, because I mean, look at so many artists like Bobby Shmurda who did a song last night and then woke up and it was in London.
Right.
It's like those kind of situations, it's almost like, wow.
Right.
That's the power of hip hop.
Yes.
But at the same time, is he ready for that type of platform
Man.
and that kind of fame?
Facts.
So that's where you can kind of blow it. If you blow up too fast and then people are like, oh, you wasn't even ready for this now. and then it's like your whole career blown.
Absolutely. So, right. I think it's a great tool if we use it the right way.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, steps to it.
It's definitely, and it comes from, we mature around here, you know what I'm saying? We got this new EP that's on some really grown woman, grown man-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's it been like working with Big Gipp?
Amazing. Inspiring. You know, like it's hard to find artists that is easy to work with. Like, it's no ego involved.
Right.
It's no it's just not complicated.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with that in the past, and I kind of strayed away from working with certain people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with Gipp, it's always been easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's
He's a Taurus. What you expect?
yeah.
Duh.
I love Taurus too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's just been cool, and we got a respect for each other. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest piece of it all is once you got respect. And everybody know what their role is. Like it's easy to make music.
Yeah, no egos are in the way.
Yeah, we just go in and work.
Yeah. So let's talk about the EP. How long was the EP in the works, and the songs that are on it? Did you create them specifically knowing that you were going to put this EP together?
We've been working on it for a couple months. Like, because really the EP was supposed to come out in December last year, but I pushed it back because that's just the perfectionist in me.
Yeah.
So, I had to make sure that it was right. And, I have my in-house team too that, I wanted to make sure that not only it's not always about me.
Yeah.
I'm always, looking for the best outcome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I have my other producers that I work with and my other songwriters and stuff. Shout out to Ronell Sess, he's one of my producers, amazing guy.
Yeah.
J.G. Gilmore, he's one of my writers. So I love to include people that I gel well with.
Yes.
And make sure that I got the best product.
Yeah.
So that's really what happened with this is I wanted to go back in and I got to tweak that. No, Gipp ain't ready yet. You're like, is it done? Nah.
Yeah, he said it.
I gotta go back and tweak. Yeah.
That's the other thing about social media and internet. Once it's out there, it is out there.
Yeah.
I don't care if you took it down 5 minutes after you put it out.
Somebody
Somebody
screenshotted it, screen recorded it.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. So it's like you want to
And I
make
didn't want
sure.
that to happen. Like, I'm
Right.
like, when y'all hear it, that's the final product.
It's like a perfect recipe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And the crazy part is, like, I was so deep in it when I was like, finishing it up, even down to the production and the mixing and the mastering and all that. When people hear it, they're like, damn, this is flawless.
Yeah,
like,
it
it
is.
sounds like it's flawless.
it is.
And that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want no gray lines. Like,
Right.
when you hear it, it's just ear candy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because, look, man, you got to take pride in your work.
100%.
Quality is everything.
It is.
It ain't the quantity, it's the quality.
It's quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my whole thing. I wanted it to be the best quality it could possibly be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did this bring out in you? Because like I said, I heard a different Gipp than I think I've ever heard. Always have loved everything that Goody Mob, the whole Dungeon family, Organized Noise has done. Been a fan forever. However, I heard something different from you this time around, and I'm loving it. Like it was, you was on your grown man ish, like you said, talking to the ladies. You know, talk to us how this came out in you.
It was. I think that's what we set out to do.
Yeah.
Because I think at the end of the day, the one thing that can never get old, or the one thing that can never have a ceiling on it, is talking about love.
Yeah.
With a woman.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
I loved the opportunity that James gave me, because it really helped me kind of like find a new space, because I've never spoken to women directly through music, only to Joy at the time, which was my wife.
Yeah.
So not being married anymore, it gave me the freedom that I never had in the beginning of my career. And I just think that it kind of like opened up a new portal in my mind to be able to express myself through song and give a new outlook and presentation of myself just to women as a whole. You know, I just think I embody a lot of things, from fashion to this, that, and the other. But when it comes to women, that's just something I never spoke about in music.
Yeah. Well, you a sex symbol.
Well, yeah, that's the reason why I stayed away from it.
Let me find out you got an OnlyFans. Let me find out.
Got me in a lot of trouble early, man.
But that's what you're supposed to do. You got to live your life.
Yeah, but you can't do it when you're married.
Not when you're married.
Well, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You know, I was young, trying to be like, you know, I come from a father and mother relationship.
Yeah.
So growing up with your father and your mother, I've always, you know, honored my father. And even though I got into the music business early and started having a kid, I'd always been reared by mother and father. Yeah. So me trying to do that in music, I just learned that it's just a very, very hard process of being young, dealing with fame, and having success. Sometimes a relationship will get lost in all that.
Yeah, it's a lot of temptation out there.
Yes, and you remember now, you know, they don't dance no more, boy. It brought them out, boy.
I know. It brought me out.
Yeah,
I was one of them ones that was working on the dance floor back then.
Yeah, because like soul food was this thing.
Absolutely.
But then once we went to Still Standing, it started going in another direction as far as what we were saying. So it kind of brought a whole new crowd to the
But you see, he knew what he was doing because he opened up the record.
Yeah.
He opened it up. So he knew what he was doing.
I mean, I respect it. I think, you know, being a young, successful, attractive artist got the drip. It's hard to not want to
see what it's about.
Oh, yeah.
And you're supposed to do that, I think. You know, like you said, maybe not when you're married, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, and then, you know, Florida. Ooh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Bikinis everywhere.
Talk about boy, girlfriend, every city.
I mean, shoot, if you in Miami, South Beach, I mean, you ain't got no choice.
Nah, for real. Beautiful women everywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Set foot on the yacht, it's over.
Ooh.
Has your creative process, as far as how you bring your music together, has that changed over the years or remained the same?
Well, I would just say this. Music to me is just totally it's a place that anytime I hear it, it takes me somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you can listen to any music that I've ever done. I never rap the same.
Yeah.
Because it's the music that gives me the cadence.
Right.
So that's the reason why you got what you got with Gippin Worthy. He put down the music, he set the tone with the hooks, and I knew what I had to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like the combination of both our voices and everything that comes with him just being a great producer, I think we created a classic. And to create a classic at this late in my career is kind of like phenomenal, because I just kind of been waiting on this record.
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, this is probably this is my best work outside of Goody Mob. This is totally my best work.
Wow. That's a big statement, because all your work is just amazing. Both of you guys have just produced nothing but hits and good records, but I love the fact that you feel good about this body of work.
It feels like the first time I heard Al B. Sure first album.
Oh, man.
And Keith Sweat first albums. Like those albums were just so perfect.
Yeah.
It was like you went from here emotionally, and the music was great. You know
nah,
what I mean?
for real.
That's what I put it up against. Like I put our record next to the Jodeci first album. You know what I mean? Silk first album, 112 first album.
You taking me all the way
You know what
back.
I mean?
That's
Like,
when the music was such beautiful in that era.
And me just being not a part of that era, but seeing it and seeing how it rose and changed music.
Yeah.
To find myself on a project like that at this point in my career is just phenomenal. It's like if I don't do anything else, I cover everything that I could cover.
Absolutely. It's like one of your bucket list things that you can check off.
Yeah, because Goody Mob did rock. We did everything.
Yeah.
We did inside of Goody Mob, we did everything, but I've never tackled R&B.
You brought that out in him. How does that feel? How does that feel? Because he's legendary, as you are as well, but you brought him into like a genre per se that maybe he never thought he was gonna tap into. How does that feel?
Amazing. I mean, he brought things out of me too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
My writing style was totally different on this project. Even my production style was different. Like, a record like Let You Go, I never did a record like Let You Go before. So even a record like Top of the World, I never did a record like Top of the World before.
Yeah.
So, it helped both of us. It gave us both different perspectives on not only how to make records, but what we can actually talk about.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because even though I'm considered R&B and I've done a lot of R&B records, I feel like this project, I had a chance to explore more things talking about love in a different like musical spectrum. Like,
Absolutely.
Like we wasn't closed in. Like ain't nobody telling us what to do. Ain't nobody behind our necks saying you need a record like this and we need a record for radio and this and that. Like we literally just went in there and just did what we felt.
Man.
You know what I mean? So if I had a concept, hey, get what you think about this concept?
Yeah.
And vice versa, you know what I mean? And we just created that way.
That's why it came out such a masterpiece. Because you were able to literally put 100% pour yourself into this project.
Yeah.
Like you said, there was nobody there in your ear, do it this way, do it that way. You had the freedom of just pouring your everything into it.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part. You know, it was just pure.
Very pure. Yeah. Absolutely.
And being able to show the industry that we don't need as much help as you say we need.
That's key right there.
I think that the reason why this 360 deal is what it is because they feel like they need to help these artists in this time period in music. So since they feel like they have to 50% help that artist finish a project, then they feel like they're entitled to other monies.
Right.
But I just wanted to show the industry, and I'm sure he did too, that we really don't need your help in that part.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I think we showing that too. I mean, look, we just done had the city council recognize our project.
Yeah, that's major. Let's talk about that while you brought it up. Like I seen this video that you sent me that you guys got stamped by the man.
Crazy.
How did that happen? Because that's like it gives me chills.
Show me that video.
My guy Lance, he's a city councilman at East Point.
Yeah.
And of course, the mayor. I know the mayor of East Point, very close with the whole family over there in East Point, and he just took it upon himself. He loved the project so much. I let him hear it going down to a meeting at the Capitol. He was like, "What is this, Gip? When did you start doing R&B?" I was like, "Shit." I mean, I was just trying my hand. You like it? He's like, "I love it." So for him to go and just make everybody on the council download the album and really let the mayor know that we had some music, it really lets me know that the music that we've done is really gonna change the world.
Yeah.
I just say for the R&B, R&B genre of music, I just think it's so small. It's to me, I only see Chris Brown and Jacquees. So, like for us to be able to get in that room right now, it's not crowded and we got all the space in the world to work with. It's totally a great feeling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a great feeling.
It's great. Like, I feel like we were just talking about this other day. Like, we done went top 10 out the gate on iTunes. We have 4 records top 50 on Shazam.
Yeah.
4.
4 records.
That is
4 out of the 5.
huge. For you guys that may not know what Shazam is, it's an app that you can download on your phone.
Yeah.
If you hear the song playing somewhere, you Shazam it so you can see who the artist is.
Right.
A lot of people still don't know what Shazam is.
Shazam is a huge platform.
Absolutely it is.
We've charted 4 of our records top 50
Congratulations,
on
that's
Shazam.
big.
And in Canada.
Yeah,
Wow.
we in Canada.
you
I mean,
guys-
we all over the place. Like we are all over the place. And I mean, today we just got picked up on BBC Radio in London. With our record "Let You Go"
Man.
and "Top of the World." So yeah, it's just a blessing. Like
Yeah.
the thing I think is the most important is the people are loving it. It's not like we're trying to do a lot of cap to get people's
You're not
attention.
forcing it on
Yeah, we're
them.
not forcing it. Like people are just genuinely loving
Yeah.
the project, and that's really what you want. And I'm so grateful for that because it could be a whole different way.
Absolutely.
So man, shout out to everybody just showing all the love, man. It's amazing.
Let me ask you this and be all the way honest. Did
up?
you expect it to really take off the way it is right now?
I didn't really go into it with expectations. Like
Yeah.
I knew we had a great product,
Yeah.
but you never really know
Yeah.
when you put something out. Like
Yeah.
it's just whatever people like,
Yeah.
and you just kind of roll with it. But the way it's been going so fast and so rapidly, I mean,
It grew its own legs
it
and
grew
took
its
off.
own legs, and it ain't even been a month yet. And I'm like,
Can you
like,
run that
wow.
fast?
Nah, this
And we
haven't-
indie.
I keep trying to tell him I hadn't seen this since 50 Cent first album.
Man.
Me either.
You know what I mean?
Man.
Where you remember like every record off that record was. I keep trying to tell people like every record off that record was just phenomenal.
Absolutely.
to the music industry
Yeah.
at that time, and I feel like this is the same situation. Like we have 5 records, right, and all of them are really, really touching people. So I'm like, by the time the summer hit, man, people should really hear and understand what we have.
It's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you believe that this record, or not this record, the whole EP is going to change the narrative for the type of music that you're doing?
I think so because we pretty much setting a precedent. Like, look, man, you don't need to chase nothing.
Yeah.
Like you can literally make the music that you feel, and if it's good enough, people are gonna like it. You just gotta believe in it enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we believe in our product.
Yeah.
And if we didn't and we just threw something out, like it wouldn't have been the same impact.
Yeah.
And so with us, it's just all about the feel, man. And, like I said, I'm just so grateful for everybody just loving it at such a rapid pace. I
Yeah.
mean, for God's sakes, you just on V103 the other night. Like, shout out to DJ Jelly. Like, he premiered Out of Control, which is the first record off the project.
Man.
Ain't even a single.
So, yeah.
That is amazing. It's really just taking on a life of its own and getting
Yeah.
out there.
And it's amazing. And, and again, artists, we are independent.
Yeah.
We ain't signing no major.
Yeah.
Like, we independent doing this. So it's possible.
It's a big motivation for a lot of these independent artists that are out there because a lot of them, like I mentioned early on, they aspire to be where you guys are at, to hold that longevity.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that they understand your journey because it didn't happen overnight. You've been in this business since the 90s, and you said you've been in it for 15 years. You both
Yeah.
have been in this industry for a long time.
Yeah.
But because of the type of music you've put out, the type of men that you are, you've been able to sustain longevity in this business.
Yeah.
You're going to still be doing music in 30 years from now.
It should be, if I want to. But see, but you got to look at it like this. The Dungeon family's mentor was George Clinton.
Yeah.
So if George Clinton's still on the stage
Yeah.
at 68, 69, what am I tripping about?
Exactly.
So
You're going to be there.
yeah,
Right.
it's because when you watch him and perform, once he starts them songs, it ain't about how old he is. It's
Yeah.
about loving this record.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Making people feel good.
Yeah, it's like people are forgetting. I just think the industry has just been in this. We talking about money all day.
Yeah.
We talking about this, that, and the other. And I said, does anybody talk about music anymore?
No.
Like we talk about everything else but music.
But music.
And
Yeah.
I feel like that's the reason why me and Worthy work so well, and the reason why the music is impacting, because people can really feel that we didn't send this through the mail. We
Yeah.
did this in a studio together,
Absolutely.
and I think that's the reason why it's impacting the way it is.
Yeah, and it's absolutely going to change the narrative because, as you mentioned, a lot of the music that we're hearing, and it's no shade to these young artists. I know, a lot of them are still figuring it out, but they're talking about stuff that a lot of people can't relate to. Not everybody has the big jewelry. Not everybody has all the money, but two things we can all relate to that we find is, like you said, the music. It's a universal language, and love.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Most music is not about love.
It's
Most music
not.
is about killing and
Killing,
drilling.
stealing, and dealing.
Yeah.
Like it's like and
Real.
and at the end of the day, the industry has promoted that.
Yes. And
So-
embraced it.
and embraced it and don't even want to take credit for why all these kids doing all this murder. It's because of what y'all putting out.
Absolutely.
So that's what I would say. For us, being that we're veteran artists, we're just taking the game and putting it in our hands and saying this is where we should be.
Yeah.
That's all. This is what's going to transcend you into the next time period of music, because music always change.
Yes, it
So,
does.
You have to understand that part, and if you understand that part, you can make it to the next wave of where music is going. But
Right.
first of all, you have to deal with quality.
Yes.
What is your level of quality? If you feel like you just rap tonight, put it out tomorrow, and feel like it's gonna do something, it might work. But are you prepared for the success if it does?
Most of them are not.
Or not? I hear so many great startup records, but then you feel like, what number 2 at? Oh, Papa ain't got that. Oh, man. I wasn't
can't
even-
follow up.
I was just trying to get a little lit and get on out of here. Well, hey, man, I know that's what they have promoted in the industry, but this ain't for that.
No, and actually, to be honest, that's good. Get them out the way because they're just taking up valuable space. I mean, to be all the way honest, there's a lot of artists out here, and people like myself or you guys who've been in the business for a long time. I'm pretty sure if you're out, you get people coming up to you all the time, da, 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 in your ear, wanting to talk to you, wanting to pick your brain. And that's cool, but it's like it gets to a point where it's like enough is enough. Because we want to deal with the people who have like minds that are about their business.
Right,
Not
right.
somebody that they're just doing this as a hobby. And like you said, they got a one-off song that was hot and then we never hear from them again. A lot of that comes from social media though.
Yeah, it does. I mean, everybody get this false identity
Yeah.
crisis thing going on.
They tough on social media,
Yeah,
boy.
like they one thing on social media,
They tough.
and then you see them in person is something totally different.
They knee high to a grasshopper, right?
You know what I mean? It's just so much finessing and finagling going on out
Yeah.
here. I'm like, man, where's the authenticity
Yeah.
out here, man? Like, stop. Let's just keep it all the way 100.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody telling the truth.
No, that's true. It's a bunch
Yeah.
of cap.
It's
As they
just-
say,
it's
rap
just-
cap.
That's the reason why a lot of these records don't stay around, not gonna stay around, because it's just all just made up
Yeah.
cap. Like it's
Yeah.
just like, you understand that my whole first 2 albums was about just my everyday life.
And when you talk about your everyday life, it's believable because you're living it.
Yeah. And so when I'm listening to most of these cats and they start the video off with the Lamborghini at the $10 million mansion in Los Angeles somewhere, I'm just like, man, you already killed your career, man. Like, yeah, ain't nowhere to grow now. You gonna have to do
You
your
already
next
got
video
it.
on the moon.
They do it. They're hustling backwards. They will spend $5,000 renting an Airbnb, getting the fancy cars, renting the models. That's not your lifestyle.
It's not your life.
But then they have no money left over to actually market that video.
Right, right.
It don't make no. They're
I
hustling
never
backwards.
understood that putting all of that into a video.
Right.
Like, what's the point?
Absolutely. You can have a fire video in your house if you got a good videographer and someone who knows how to edit. You
Yeah.
throw some good lighting up in there. Boom, you can
Even
have
if you had the budget to do it,
right.
Why do
it still don't make sense to me. Like the biggest portion of your budget need to go into your visibility.
Yes,
on-
100% marketing and promo.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Right.
Yeah.
Get back to the basics.
But most of them don't. That's what a DJ told me the other day. He said, "Yeah, man, you know what the crazy part about this is that all the good artists, they ain't got no money. And all the bad artists, they got all the money in the world."
No, that's facts.
But I said, but see, look at how you looking at it. When we started, didn't nobody had no money.
Yeah.
It was about picking the best of what we have to promote that, and we all saying, let's stand behind that.
Yeah.
If everything is just driven by money, guess what? The industry is going to fall.
Yeah.
I mean, because
100%.
we are forgetting that all of the greatest records and all the greatest producers and artists came from a dire situation.
Yes.
And when you kind of just now make music just all about, you got to come in on this top level, it's like it kills the growth, it kills the artist, it kills the imagination. It's like if an artist just looking at it like, well, I ain't got no little baby chain, they ain't gonna like me. Okay, if Turbo them didn't do the beat, that they ain't gonna go. So I look at it like, no, until you figure out what type of artist you is, you're not even gonna look to other people and what they doing.
Yeah.
That's when you start understanding if you a real artist or not.
Man.
When you're not even paying attention to what everybody else doing. Because when you become as good as you supposed to be for the industry will come looking for you.
Yeah.
Bigger always says a buzz is like pregnancy. It's gonna show.
I like that one. I like that one. I'm using that.
That's Florida right there, boy.
That's that real OG Florida stuff.
That down bottom right there, man.
I like that.
And it's the truth. You can't deny it.
Can't
you know what I'm
deny it.
saying? You can't deny it. So it's like you just got to stay out here, stay on your grind, stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
Stop trying to impress a bunch of people who really at the end of the day don't give a damn about you. Social media, most of the people do not care about us.
Right.
They don't think about us when they go to bed at night. They don't think about us when they wake up in the morning. They ain't thinking about what we're doing right now. So it's like, at the end of the day, just do you. And that's where you're going to put out your most organic bodies of work like you guys did with this EP.
Yeah, because I'm knowing like now, like this is me. I told James this the other day, I said, this is probably going to be the most special time of this project, but simply because the industry ain't caught up yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just know that, you know, we won't get another outlook feel like this again. The next project will probably be all eyes on us to see if we could do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to catch them all off guard right now and have such a great presentation of work, that's where you always want to be as an artist, because it is being in this situation and being ahead of the curve is a place that many artists never get to live in their career.
Absolutely.
You know, most people are following.
Right.
So it's only a 2 or 3% that figured out their own thing and made it, you know, for mass consumption. So this is a special thing, because I know the next time they're just gonna be all in our face and all worried about what we're doing. You know what I mean? When they didn't even know we was doing this.
Exactly.
We just dropped it on the industry, and for it to happen and get the reception. And I'm like, bro, you know how many people put music out and that shit don't move for months?
Sometimes a year or more even.
Like, people might not even see it. So for James to be like, we dropping it here, and then to be like, yo, bro, we already did 1 million. Huh? What?
We got the city
million.
city council and stuff behind stamping us. Like,
Man, it's been one thing.
how many
after the
artists can
next.
say that?
It's something new every day.
Not too many. The material doesn't call for that.
and you can't pay for that. You can't pay for
Don't I
that
say
type
that
of
all the
exposure.
time? You can't pay for this.
You cannot pay for that. Like some of the most organic stuff, you can't pay for that.
You
like
can't.
nor, you know, and it's like, nor would you want to have had to pay for that. You just want it to happen out the gate. Like you said, you getting all the way up into Canada, and it just came out. It's fairly new still.
It's very new, and see, that's the thing. People are treating it like it's been out for at least a year.
Yeah.
And people think like, well, they don't think, but they treating it like it's an album.
Yeah.
And it's only a 5-song EP.
It's a true EP.
You know what I mean? And that tells us that we hit it out the park.
Yeah, no, you did.
With
Absolutely.
just 5 with a 5-piece.
Little
you know,
5-piece.
Little 5-piece high.
Keep them hungry, coming back for more.
You know, they already asked you for Give It Worthy too.
No,
I'm like, ooh.
So is this something that you're looking forward to? Is putting the second part into place?
Yeah, because we already got it halfway done. So it's cool.
Oh, yeah, we got joints in the tuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, probably on that one, it's gonna be even more diverse.
Yeah.
Like y'all gonna even see more creativity
Yeah.
in everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you got past that first one and you're
Yeah.
seeing how well it's doing. That lights a fire up under you. Say,
Yeah.
well, man, if they love this one, wait till I come out with the second one.
I told him, I said, I feel like the first album, Soul Food. That's how I feel. Like, that's
Yeah.
how much the press is being. That's how much the attention is being. So it's kind of like, I'm like, wow, I'm 25 again, huh?
You look it.
You know, so I'm like,
25 again.
I'm 25 again. I'm like, okay, we got to go to clubs late at night and all this kind of stuff. I'm just like, man,
Oh,
I ain't
Lord.
so got out of that.
Yeah, I know that's right. I be in bed by midnight. For real.
I've been going to the club on the Instagram. I be like, I can go to every club in Atlanta on the
real.
Instagram.
Let me-
Strip clubs, the regular club. I went to the club tonight.
Yeah, I was at Blue Flame with it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tracy, big deal. I go to Blue Flame vicariously through her Instagram.
Hey,
Yeah, you be everywhere on Instagram. Shoot, you be all the way in Europe on Instagram.
Facts.
and that's what he said also, like, just for us to have a record on BBC. Now, let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's major.
Gipp ain't never had a record on BBC.
Wow.
I mean, I don't even think my biggest record in my career has been Grills. That sold 9 million records,
Wow.
right? But I was on there with Paul Wall, Ali, and Nelly.
Yeah.
Now I'm on a record that's on the BBC radio station with just me and Worthy.
Right. That's your song.
That's our song.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And always the place that you want to be is Europe.
Yeah.
And that's our second record on BBC.
Man.
Because we had TikTok on that first, and then now they have Top of the World.
TikTok is, I still got that in radio rotation.
And see, you
Oh,
gotta
wow.
understand, I didn't even know TikTok was doing all this. He knew all this. I didn't even know I was on BBC. I didn't even know I was on BBC with TikTok.
That is
Yeah.
a huge record.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, and I think that was kind of like a warm up appetizer
It
to
was.
get
It
people
was.
prepped
It was.
for this EP.
It really was.
I was just like, man, now that you guys came out the whole EP, would you say that your creative process for this EP was slightly different than what it's been in the past because the style of the music was different?
No, because he works like Organized Noise.
Yeah.
He's just like Yoda. Like, we'll record on one beat, and then you come back, it's something else. Because he'd be like, shoot, man, I was just letting y'all lay. I got to do me now. You know what I mean? So
I
his
got a whole arsenal.
Yeah, his whole process is just so reminding of Organized Noise that it makes it all the way comfortable. And then to know that what type of artist and producer he is, it's like he wants perfection.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anything but that. So
Yes.
that is the greatest place an artist like myself can be in, because you know that the other person is really taking care of you on the other end
Yes.
of this process, and that's the music. You know, words are one thing, but music is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
So for him to just care about both, where I don't have to worry about it,
Yeah.
it brings out the best in my pen.
Absolutely. And it just makes you more comfortable with the situation, because if you're working with somebody who is not about their business, they're not a perfectionist, that just kind of kills the whole scenario. It
Yeah,
brings
it's
the morale
always a
down.
what if. Like,
Right.
or it could have been like,
Woulda,
well,
coulda, shoulda.
it could have sounded like this, or we could have did this. And like I got that from just working with some of the greats.
Yes.
Like just watching them and see how they perfected records and how they wrote records. Like
Yeah.
that rubbed off on me. Like, Houdini was one of my mentors.
Wow. That is
Like,
amazing.
Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown was my mentors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got a chance to see how they moved and how they created and did stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, I can't be nothing but the best.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, then I always felt like I would be doing them a disservice
Right.
because they know what I can do. And if I can't bring forth that same level of quality, then I mean, I might as well not even do it.
You'll be doing yourself a disservice
Yeah.
too, because you know you can do it.
Yeah.
You're super
yeah.
talented.
And plus too, with this project, this was a project just to show people like, look, I ain't fell off. I'm still doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But also too, like, look, I'm coming for y'all, man. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, man. I'm one of the
Get
best.
your baby mamas.
I'm
They
one
coming
of the
for
best
y'all.
out here. I'm one of the best out here. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. And see, his confidence like that is what made me find that other place
Yeah.
to write from.
Absolutely.
Like, just knowing that you know, I know too, like, you know, in this new music game, it's like if you don't put music out, people think you fell off or something. It's like, no, maybe I'm just letting these other folks shoot their load so I can come in and clean up. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, man, like, and then on the other half, I'm being like, hey, man, like, Dungeon Family been out here being represented.
100%.
Future got us.
Yes, it's never going to go away.
So for me personally, it wasn't even about just getting out here and doing anything. It was about finding that special place.
Absolutely.
To re-enter the music business. And
absolutely.
I think we found it.
You definitely have found it, 100%.
And like you said, we was trying to get everybody out the way for a minute. You know,
Yeah.
all right, this person dropped, they dropped. That's why I chose February. I'm like, I told Gil, like, yeah, we're gonna have to do this the right way.
Right.
So this the perfect time to drop. So we just got our own
And nobody's out here.
space. Yeah,
Yes.
Nobody's out here.
Yeah.
Where the music at, y'all? It's the top of the year. Y'all ain't dropped nothing.
Right. Absolutely. This is when everybody should be dropping new music,
Right.
new EPs, new visuals.
But it ain't no industry no more.
No.
This is it's all driven off social media and likes and fake views. So it's kind of like the industry of Atlanta, I think, has just been diluted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you're absolutely right. And to be all the way honest, I've been doing a lot of research on that because we all want our social medias to be popping. And really what a lot of people don't understand is that whole fake it till you make it hurts you more than it helps you.
Yeah.
Because the way Instagram's algorithms work, it's artificial intelligence is taking over everything, right? AI. They can detect if you're constantly sending a bunch of fake stuff to your Instagram, they detect that and they actually will what they call shadow banning.
Yeah.
They'll shadow ban you where people are not seeing your content as much because they want you to use the system organically. A lot of these young artists, you know, they feel like numbers don't lie. Oh, yes, they lie nowadays.
Yeah, they lying
They
nowadays.
lying.
And then they shadow ban me for just saying the wrong stuff.
Oh, that's what happened to me too.
I just, you know.
I was talking about Delta 8.
I'm sitting up there like, okay, I've been 245,000 for about 3 years now since the pandemic. What's going on, folks? and then folks was like, hey man, Gib, you know, you gotta type your name all the way in for it to come out. I say, oh, okay, I'm shadow banned.
Shadow banned.
Okay. But it's a trip because I'm looking at how many people, how can I have $50,000 followers, but then I'm reaching 290,000 followers?
Yes.
So that tells me off the top I'm shadow banned.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's cool.
If we're not using it the way they want us to, like you said, certain posts get flagged for certain content. And then also, too, another thing that I learned, they want us, it's money. If we're not sponsoring our post, that also can cause a shadow ban because they want us to spend money on the app.
Well, yeah, and then for all y'all out there, for all y'all artists that signed to your major labels that created a whole thing with the Instagrams, now I know that your label been paying the Instagram. So that's how you get 200,000, 400,000 likes. Okay.
Hello.
So, you know, like we said, I mean, the Instagram can also turn a regular person into an influencer.
That's right.
If he's, you know, funded right.
That's right. Exactly. That blue check can be bought. You know, like them labels have them, the PRs have the connects, and
They
they
doing
can.
that with Twitter too now. They got the new
now they
new
got-
service where you could buy the blue check.
Instagram's about to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Instagram is about to have a whole meta thing where now you can, but it's like to me it almost takes away from the.
It's over.
It's over now. What do you have to work hard for? Like a lot of people really work hard because they want that blue check. They want. Not even necessarily say, oh, I got a blue check. It just shows that you've put your work in and you're a notable person now.
Yeah.
And it just kind of takes all that away. Throughout your, journey in this music, you've been doing it a long time. What would you say has been like the most positive change that you've seen within the hip hop music industry?
Just being more business minded.
Yeah.
You know, if we can get all these artists that's getting all this money up front from these labels to take that money and put it into land and businesses,
Yeah.
then you'll never go broke. But if you get this little $2 or $3 million and go to the store and spend it all up, then your record don't do good. Then nothing about the money or your career is gonna mean anything.
Facts.
So I'm just about, as long as these kids out here is getting all this money and putting it to where it's gonna help them 20 years down the line without music, then it's a smart situation for you.
Yes.
But for artists like me and James, you know, they had to bag the truck up to get me to sign a 360. they had to bag that thing up about 20 on, bro. I was like, boy, I mean, I'm gonna cut you into my CBD company, my liquor company. Boy, stop. So that's where it's kind of like it's a deterrent for us at this point. You know what I mean? Like they would really have to do a special provisions for me and him
Absolutely.
to do something like that. So
Yeah, that's a fact.
that's just the only thing that I see. You know, as a young artist, because even my daughter, she just dropped her record, and
Oh, dope.
my thing with her is just like, we're not even talking to nobody until you're able to negotiate something.
Yes. You got to have some leverage to stand on so you can actually negotiate with them.
So that's the reason I would just tell any artist right now, just because you got to understand this, that I was kind of like in the building with the Atlantic when this 360 deal fell out of the sky. And one of the first artists I talked to about it was Lupe Fiasco. And Lupe was like, yo, man, they said I either got to sign it, get down, or lay down. He said, I laid down, I'm going to leave. You know what I mean? But again, at the same time, you look at it, and for some artists, it works.
Yeah.
It's great. But, you know, you got to also look at the music that Lupe makes.
Yeah.
Him being smart enough to know that, I'm cool. I just go do my alternative thing, and I live my life.
Absolutely.
If I go that route, then that means that y'all going to start bringing me pop records in here, and then my whole thing is diluted. So
right.
that's where an older artist that's already established themselves can kind of put themselves in a box, because, you know, once you sign them paperwork, ain't no more dropping music when you want to,
100%.
getting in front of the camera. They own everything.
Everything.
So you have to really understand what you're doing when you give somebody that kind of power.
Man, that is so powerful. And I think a lot of these young up and coming artists need to hear that, because a lot of them think that's the end all for them. They have to sign. I'm like, no, you can stay independent. If you really understand this business and you really work hard, the only reason that you would really sign is if you felt desperate to have that bag put behind you. But trust me, that money is not yours. Like you said, they'll go out and spend it any kind of way, but it got to be paid back.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, a lot of times too, like these artists don't realize that, you know, once you sign, you are still on the chopping block. Because they can shelf you if they want to.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, they could push you back as long as they want to,
Yeah.
because they already got priority artists
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like a lot of these labels outsource anyway.
Yes.
Like you could do a lot of the things that they do.
100%.
It's just all about, you know, the budget that you got and the relationships that you got. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you have to make relationships. You got to talk.
Yeah.
You got to be seen.
Yeah.
And you know, just do good business.
Absolutely, because artists can do a lot of stuff themselves now. They can do their own distribution. There's a lot of distribution companies out there that you have access to. You pay one flat fee and put out as much music as you want. You can connect with a good PR, you know, to help you get your media presence. There's a lot of stuff you could do on your own. So it's like, you know, if you balance it right and you build those relationships, as I've always learned, relationships will put you in places that money cannot.
Absolutely.
I've learned that along the way. When I first moved to Atlanta, one of my very first showcases I did, Andre 3000 came out just off of love. And he was in the building with us all night, networking with the artists and stuff, you know, because we built that relationship. And everybody's like, how did you pull that off? I'm like, you build relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to just show you love just genuinely like that. That's going to take you a lot further.
I just think I think we kind of started losing that in the Jeezy era. I think once BMF hit the city, it kind of changed the structure of how records was pushed, because, you know, they were going in the club saying, just play this for 2 hours straight. Don't play nothing else. You know what I mean? Nobody ever seen that before.
They had that kind of power.
So it's kind of like, it's the mind frame of most of these cats that come into the music business because they was here in that era, so and they saw that. So they whole thing be about, I'm just going to throw money at it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, are you forgetting that the product has to be good?
Absolutely.
It's like one thing Jeezy had was great product.
Yes.
You know, that was the difference between him and Blue.
Yeah.
So that's why I look at things like you can have all the bag in the world and still not sell no records, folks.
Man, that is big, major facts. And the sad part is I've seen it. A lot of these artists get put into a good position, and I'm not going to call out no names because I don't do that.
Yeah.
But I've seen some of these artists be put into a great position, right? Had big features, money put behind them, and they still didn't blow. And then they want to turn and point the finger at the label saying, the label suck. No, you can't force people to like your music. Either they resonate with it or they don't.
Yeah.
No matter how much money you got, if the song is not good and the people don't resonate.
Or the people may not like you.
Or they don't like you. Yeah, you. That's probably most of it.
Yeah.
Because their attitude
I
sucks.
mean, that's a part of it. Like, I mean, the people have to like the artist.
That's a big,
the music
huge part of it.
The music is part of it, but they have to like you.
Yeah.
You're selling your image.
Yeah.
To the consumer.
You're right.
The music is just the additive part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think artists kind of lose that thing because they so focused on trying to get a hit and people listen to them on the radio and blah blah blah, and they get millions of streams and all this stuff. But like, do you actually have a fan base
Right.
of people that enjoy you?
Enjoy you as a human being, as a person.
Yeah,
Because a
That's-
lot of them have that ego, attitude, ugly. I wouldn't even want to sit next to someone like that. I don't want them in my presence. I'm suddenly not a fan no more. If I meet an artist and they got an a-hole attitude, they can keep that.
Yeah.
And they little record.
Yeah, but that again goes back into the reason why Atlanta was so great, because a lot of the artists that came out really got artist development.
Yes.
They
They were forced to
was
because there was
forced to have artist
yeah.
development, and I think that's the reason why I said I think we didn't start doing different until Jeezy came
Yeah.
out, and then the streets was like, okay, well, if Jeezy made it, I can make it too.
Yeah.
I could put my money on it too. But but still, he's still one out of a million.
1 out of a billion probably. Good luck over there.
You know what I mean? So, and then just the way the industry is set up now, everything is everything is about money. When in Atlanta, it was about the music.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we getting lost at, because we're taking on other people's culture when we do that.
Right.
Like, that was never our culture.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Our culture was to give everybody a shot, listen, get the best out of that bunch, and move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if we just going, okay, who got some money?
Right.
Everybody. Who got some money? From the clubs to everything you're doing in the music business. It's kind of like, it kind of kills the artist and it kills the art form.
I agree 100%. 100% on that. Do you think pressing up CDs is still something that's relevant?
Actually, I think vinyl right now is making a huge comeback.
I love that. Please.
Yeah, vinyl is actually outselling, like in a physical merchandise aspect.
Yes.
Vinyl's outselling.
CDs.
I really would love to see that make a comeback, because it gives you something, if that makes sense. Like, I cherished my CDs and my albums. My dad still got some of his original albums from like the 70s. It becomes like a collector. When you're a fan of someone's it just makes you feel like you have a part of them. Now it's like, oh, you stream it from your phone, cool.
You could lose your phone tomorrow.
You could lose your phone tomorrow. Exactly.
Delete all your apps, lose your phone.
Right.
But when you have that vinyl and that CD and that memorabilia, like, it's nothing like it.
Absolutely.
So I'm always been a fan of that. By the way, Giving Worthy will be on vinyl.
I was just gonna ask you. That was gonna be my next question. Are you guys gonna press up some? That is amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be on vinyl.
I love that.
Yeah.
How many visuals you planning on putting together?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. All of them. Because all of them got stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
We have to drive this all the way to the end.
Yeah.
It's like we have to show them and show the industry too what it looks like when it's just music.
Yeah.
It's not about no budget, not about no money or what we trying to drive to the public. It's just about good music.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Let that be the banner. Like, let's get back to music, y'all. Like,
Yes.
I'm tired of talking about everybody and how much money they getting, how much
Man.
who doing this, who doing that. It's like, that shit ain't got nothing to do with music.
No, it doesn't at all. It's because it's a lot of it. It's not real anyway, and it's not relatable.
It ain't relatable, because now you talking about people who got so much, their money is so astronomical. It's like, man, you can't even, the artists and the audience is just too far apart now.
That's right.
It's like it's too far.
There's a
relate.
big disconnect there.
Yeah, it's like,
Huge.
bro, you way up there, I'm down here. You talking about you spending $400,000 at dinner? Okay, I ain't listening to you.
I can't even spend $400 at dinner. What you talking about? Shoot, I gotta cook.
So you know that's what it is. It's no. That's why certain artists I understand. That's why I understand why the industry might love an artist like Kodak Black.
Yeah.
Just because he's just so different and he's intriguing to look at, and he's like, I wonder. So when you look at stuff like that, so that's the reason why. As soon as people saw me and James' album cover, they were like, "Yo, that's fly." Even I heard, "Damn, I should have did that."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
because
we was on some 90s. Well, we was on some Death Row. Like,
And these youngins don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
They weren't even born yet, probably.
yeah.
So it's just about us just being raw and bringing to look at the cover, and once you start listening to the music, it's just a mind. It's a mind bender. It's like, oh man, like I thought y'all was some gangsters on the fur. When I looked at it first, I thought Worthy might be might come through with the drive-through. He got
Look
the
at that
biscuits on.
right. You know, but you know, I had to be fly. You know, I had to bring the isotoners out on them. You know what I mean? Well, y'all know about them
No,
isotoners.
hold on now. He said the isotoners.
Y'all know about them isotoners.
Yeah.
No, you didn't say the isotoners.
Yeah.
Come on
you
now.
got the orthopedic shoes.
I got some of them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too. I ain't gonna lie.
Look, man, you know, I travel
That's
the
what happens when
world.
we get old. You know, everything hurts.
Look, that's what happens when you travel the world. You know what I mean? Like, you know, my mind has been conditioned to so many things. You know what I mean? I gotta bring it to the people now. You know?
That's so real.
That is so funny. So let me ask you guys this. You know, obviously, I'm gonna support the music.
Mm-hmm.
What else can I do? Like, what can Tampa Mystic do to help you with the movement? I know the music's growing its legs, it's doing its thing.
Yeah.
But you know, I love both you guys. What can I do to help the situation?
Oh, man, you doing so much already, man. Shoot. Man, I just appreciate you.
Of course.
You know what I mean? That's it for me. It's all about the music right now, just getting people in tune. And, you know, it's early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why we ain't put no visuals out right now, because we just wanted to focus on the music.
Yeah.
And get people to listen and understand what we bring to the table.
Yeah.
You know, but hey,
Continue
support.
supporting.
Yeah.
We was in sync with that.
Yeah.
And this is just the total process of what great records look like.
Yeah.
It's like great records don't need no visual.
Right.
The
No,
music speaks for itself.
it does. Absolutely. 100%.
You know what I mean?
100.
And I think that's the trick of the industry right now. It's like everybody be shooting a video for folk even heard the song. Like
That's
folk
right.
ain't heard the song, you shooting the video.
And they dropped the video the same day as the song come out. I be like,
You gotta allow the people to hear the song and let it grow on them a
Yeah.
little bit, and then drop that dope visual on
Again,
them.
so that was the reason why being tutored by a LA and Babyface in the early years of LaFace, you got to really see how you supposed to set a record up,
Yeah.
how you supposed to put a record out, wait for it. You know, most of the time back then, a record wouldn't even start moving to 5 or 6 months.
Right.
Like, so it was
Absolutely.
just continuously work
Yeah.
until that record popped. And I just think that the internet and so many things, social media has just made everybody just rush the process.
They want instant
Yeah,
gratification.
instead of just saying, okay, let's just worry about, let's see if people just like the music.
Man.
Before I just go out here and just be like, yeah, I got the chain, the car, and everything. Y'all so broke. It's like, huh?
and they be so quick.
Yes, they swear everybody else broke. I'm
Yeah,
like,
y'all-
And you know what's
Damn.
crazy? They be so quick to throw out them astronomical numbers the second week.
Yeah.
They done drop like, oh, I done did 10 million streams and I done did. I'm be like,
there's so much cap out there
first
with
of all,
that.
it ain't even possible for y'all to be doing no 10 million in no week
Yeah.
or no 2 weeks.
Liars.
Like,
That's what you
especially if
liars.
they don't know the record.
Yeah,
Man,
people don't know the record.
Yeah.
we
but-
know that y'all are lying. We know this. Like, y'all don't have to try to impress nobody. We know that you're lying.
But it's so funny. It's coming from the top down.
Yeah, it really is.
See,
Because
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's my thing with this industry. It's like, with so much success that has come out this South, and just so much success, period, of just the industry. Why haven't the heads of these labels changed? Why hasn't it been new, fresh blood, people who bring in the new in? Because the people who at the head of the label when I came in, still at the head of the label, I know they don't know what's going on.
Right.
I know they don't understand the music. I know they don't understand these kids. They just standing in the way.
Right. Absolutely. They don't.
And then they want to just take credit for something they don't even understand.
Right.
So that's the reason why I think the industry is just so messed up right now, because some of the old dogs just don't want to get out the way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like
They really don't.
you have to get on board or get left behind. And if you don't want to get on board, get out the way.
True.
Yeah.
Straight like that. What do you think that, speaking to these young artists, coming from someone who's been in the business for a while like yourself, and you're in different aspects of the business, what would be that gem that you would drop on these young artists right now? Because, we've just had this whole conversation about the narrative does need to change.
Look, man, you got to study this game.
Yeah.
The game changes every day.
100%.
Like, this industry changes every day. And you got to stay in tune and you got to keep up. But not only that, perfect your craft. You know what I mean? Like, stop trying to chase other people and other things, and stop listening to the radio to feel like you need to make a record like what's on the radio. Like,
Right.
be pure. Understand what your lane is. Understand what your sound is. Understand what sounds good on you and to you, and understand what the people want to hear from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you might feel like I'm about to drop this trap record, but then people might feel like that ain't your lane.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it takes time to understand that.
Yeah.
And it takes time to grow into an artist.
Yeah.
Like, I think people just kind of skip the steps of actually developing and then understanding what their sound is and
Right.
their direction, and they just try to like jump over to do something that they think is gonna work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think, anybody that's trying to get in this game, man, just perfect your craft, man, and learn from people that's better than you. That's always been my thing.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to learn from the best.
Right. Absolutely. The people who's been there, done that, still doing it, that's the people you want to surround yourself with.
Absolutely.
Because someone who's never done it can't tell you how to do it.
And then you got so many people out here to think they can tell you how to do it.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like,
That's like, huh?
if you've never sold 9 million records, do not tell me how to sell 9 million
Hey,
records.
man, if you ain't won 3 Grammys, don't tell me nothing.
Don't tell me how to win.
Hey, folks.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So what do you think it feels like when you go to these different places and you like, they putting people in places that they hadn't even done it?
Right.
How are you making certain people over record labels? Like, they ain't even sold no records.
Exactly.
So
right.
It don't make sense. It's like this industry, we're the only industry that don't put the ones that really move the industry into executive positions.
Into those positions.
Like,
Exactly.
y'all put a whole bunch of people that started listening to rap music when they got to college.
Right. They don't know the true
They
history.
don't know. And so really you in the office just looking at numbers. Like, even James is teaching me more about the numbers, but I can tell you the truth. Like, our first albums, man, I didn't even look at no BDS. I didn't know none of that.
Right,
I was like, man, we got to get out here and move the crowd. Like,
Yeah.
the radio, I never worried about it. It
Yeah.
was never on the radio.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the reason why I think at this point, that's the reason why I think I feel like a totally new artist, because the amount of radio that we've got in just 3 weeks, I hadn't gotten this in my career.
Man, that's amazing, though.
And off the strength.
That is amazing. Right.
It ain't
It's- because
ain't
it's-
no paying nobody.
It's
ain't
great
no, yeah,
music. You
yeah,
can't deny it.
Yeah.
And when you put out good music like that, it's organically just going to get picked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. You know, you don't have to force it on nobody. You don't have to pay them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to want to listen to
wanna
it
learn.
because it makes them feel good. And really, at the end of the day,
And a lot of DJs been telling me they ain't got nothing to play. They were like, yo, Gip, bro, the club, man, ain't no music.
Be the same
man.
old, same old.
The same music, man. Like, we don't really, it's, you think about the club, it used to be 3 times in the club. When you first get there, then we playing the jams, then we going to start slowing it down with the slow music.
oh, man,
You know what I mean?
I
Like-
miss them
like,
days,
you know
though.
what I mean? Then you
We
walk-
were slow dragging in there.
Then you
what
walk
you
on
doing
out the
about
door.
somebody?
You walk on out the door. You like, hey, now it's like, hey man, y'all in there having sex to drill music, cause y'all
Well, they
ain't.
be trapping it
Yeah,
out the whole
Oh,
night.
Like-
he said they having sex to drill. You would,
Like-
hey,
Like, what's going on,
hey,
folks?
she might shoot you in the middle.
I mean, like it's like I don't understand. Like I'm with y'all, but I'm just like, hey, bro, like how do you take? It's almost like the music of the day is like playing Grand Theft Auto.
Man, absolutely, you were
You ain't lying about
100%
that.
right.
It's like everybody just.
No wonder people are so like stressed out and stuff.
That's
This
what's going on.
anxiety is at an all-time high, and a
'Cause,
lot of
yeah.
it comes from the stuff we're consuming, not just.
Yep.
It's all frequency.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
It's all frequency.
It is. You know what's so funny? Speaking of that, I'm a cat lover, right? I've always had cats my whole life.
Me too.
Really?
Yes.
I just got into dogs.
The cats, the way they purr, the certain frequency, they say that it's actually good for people who have anxiety. It calms you because of the frequency.
Oh yeah, cause that when they breathe, yeah.
Exactly. Like if they come and they just purr in your, oh gosh,
Yeah.
I need another kitty.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I never had a cat.
Yeah, you know,
they're
and
the
a lot of
best.
people have misconceptions about them.
I've had cats all my life.
Me too.
The next cat that I get is gonna be a Savannah cat.
Mm.
The ones that come up to your knees. Look like,
The big ones. I want a Bengal kitty.
you know, who got
Ooh.
well, you know, Big got
Big guy, he got a zoo. He
got a safari goddamn,
He
like-
got a damn safari.
He got a
He got
tiger.
owls and tigers and
Got big old
lions,
owls. I'm like, God.
lions and tigers and
called me
bears
one
on
day,
my.
like, is that Big Tiger for real? I'm like, yeah, that's Big Tiger for real, bro. Big got a tiger.
I love watching his Instagram because he be having all these animals run around in his house, and
Yeah.
He even got him in the studio.
he has owls in the studio.
Bro,
I'm like,
they stay in the big house. He be in the guest house.
That
The
is-
animals be in the big house. They just be all running around the mansion. And he be in the guest house by the pool.
What a luxury, boy.
but they slick help with anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So, but you said, like you said, the frequency.
Yeah,
you
that's
guys, you guys are putting out phenomenal music.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whatever I can do to support, you know, it's all love.
Oh, yeah.
Where can we find you guys at next?
Oh, man. You know, we've been moving around so much, man, all around the city. Shoot, we be posting updates. You know, just check us out. I'm King James Worthy, all social media.
Give goodies.
Yeah.
Give goodies.
Follow us.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And I believe in shooting your shot, right?
Yeah.
A closed mouth don't get fed, right?
Yeah.
My birthday's April 29th. I got my birthday celebration downtown on the 27th. If you guys feel like stopping through for us to drop the record,
Yeah,
me and OG Bigger Rankin will be hosting that night.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta see the OG in the way.
I ain't see OG in a minute.
I told him that you guys were gonna be here, and he wasn't feeling too good
I know.
today.
I've been watching.
Yeah, he goes through dialysis and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but he
yeah.
was just like, oh man, he wanted to be here to see you guys.
Nah,
and
it's
he
all
wanted to-
love. It's all love.
But yeah, your birthday and my birthday like this.
Yeah.
You the
So
28th, I'm the
always-
29th.
It's a celebration then. It's a celebration.
We can drop the record. I would
Yes.
I would be so honored. That would be the biggest birthday gift in the whole world. I had
got
to ask you on video.
I got you.
I ain't tripping.
That
We got you.
That would be amazing.
No, we
That
got
would
you.
be
You,
amazing.
you know, we 100 over here.
And it's at the same venue that we did the interview at.
Okay, at a
Crazy Atlanta.
okay.
Yeah, so you know
Gotcha.
exactly where it's at. It's an
Yeah.
early event, 8 to midnight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, we
I'm,
good, we
I'm
good.
old. I don't be staying out till no 1, 2 in the morning. I can't do it. You know what I'm
We
saying?
don't do that. We don't do that either. Yeah.
Too dangerous out here.
Yeah.
It is really dangerous.
Crazy out here.
So listen, thank you guys both for being here.
No problem.
It was
Thank
an
you for having
honor
us.
to have you guys here. You know, you guys always show love, and I'm grateful for that. Tell them one more time. You just gave them your socials. Where can they follow you at, Mr. Worthy?
King James Worthy, all social media, youtube.com/James Worthy Music. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Of course, we got music videos dropping soon.
Yeah.
And y'all go get that Gippin' Worthy, man. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Available. 5-piece. We got 112 on there. So
Yeah.
check it out.
It's the hottest thing in the streets right now. It's
Yeah, we-
And that's what's so hard, Tam. But like, I know it is.
It is.
Cause it's quiet.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's quiet.
Yeah.
You know when they quiet, they don't want to give you props. You know?
Nah, for real.
I'm gonna tell you, man. My phone been dry since the album came out.
They slick hating on you.
It's okay.
It's okay.
They've been doing that for 25 years.
I know,
They ain't
right?
going nowhere.
But you know what? The right people reaches out to us.
Absolutely. And
The
that's all
right
that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's all. Because the other
Yeah.
ones, the people who are not on board and are not supportive.
They'll get here by the summertime.
Exactly.
See, once they see the girls go down the street with that thing bumping with the top back, they're gonna be like, I know I've been hating. Let me go on get on it. The girls like it. So I ain't worried about that. I'm like, man, we couple of days to spring. Y'all got a few
and then
more
when we
days
hit
to
them
chill.
with that visual,
Yeah.
Yeah. We gonna wait on
It's
it.
over with.
It's crazy.
It's over with.
Where can people keep up with the movement?
Gip Goodies, man. Gip Goodies are on all social medias. Want y'all to check out this new TV show coming on called On 10 with Man Robinson, and that's gonna be great. Really represent. It's gonna be Atlanta's version of what Atlanta is really about.
Oh,
you know what I
man.
mean? So
Yeah. We got music on there too.
we got
Really?
two
Yeah.
songs on there.
Congratulations. That's big.
Top of the World and
Whatever you like.
whatever you like.
What is the name of the show?
On 10.
On
10.
10.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be like a series?
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
It starts first day of summer, I believe.
On 10.
On
Yeah.
10.
So is it going to like go back and show the history of Atlanta?
No, it's like it's really a story of Atlanta, of a kid from the West Side.
Okay, got you.
So it's Atlanta. Like this show is all Atlanta.
Atlanta's so beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and
I
guess
was-
what his name is on there?
Big Gip.
My name Goody.
Oh, Goody.
Goody.
And he's got Gift Goody.
Yeah. I got a swear to God.
Atlanta's so beautiful. Like, I love this city. I've been coming here since Freaknik days. I was here for the real deal. I got to experience the real Freaknik back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? You know that era. It was so beautiful back then. There was no craziness. People were in the streets just having a good time, turn it up.
Well, I'm
Man.
gonna tell you what's like that right now. Your city, Tampa.
Tampa.
It's off the chain.
It is.
I was just down there for the weekend. I'm like, wait a minute, it's a boat party on the canal? Wait a minute, everybody got Christmas lights on
Yes.
with the stereos. I'm like, man, they have a Freaknik on the canal.
Nah, for real. Exactly.
So I was like, man, Tampa really used to be a quiet town.
Yeah.
You know? So now I think everybody's telling me, especially in Miami, a lot of people who getting money, they moving to Tampa. A lot of people moving to Tampa because Tampa is the quiet side of Florida now.
Exactly. Absolutely. And it's, I mean, eventually I'm going to move back there one day.
got
I
to.
love Atlanta, but that's my home.
That's your home, baby.
I came here to make my stamp, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to eventually
Shit,
migrate
bro.
back there again.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I love Tampa, man.
And
Yeah, Tampa's
you
dope.
coming too? You going to move down there too?
I got a warehouse down there.
Oh, do you for real?
Yeah. That's where I do my non-alcoholic spirits in Tampa.
Oh, that's dope.
So, yeah, I'm always in Tampa.
Dope. Well, we'll have to connect down there too.
Oh yeah, and Goody Ma got a show in Florida coming up.
Yeah, we got Goody Mob got a show Orlando with Fantasia, Babyface, Plies, Goody Mob on the 25th.
Oh, that sounds like it's going to be an amazing show.
Yeah, I think 8 Ball and MJG on there too.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
That's a
crazy.
great lineup right there. And Orlando's a fun city too.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, I like Orlando.
It's come a long way.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Well, Gibb and Worthy, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys
yeah.
go get that EP. It's out everywhere on every digital streaming platform.
Yes.
I got one last question for you guys though.
What's up?
You know what I'm saying? We live on the Industry's Most
What you
Wanted
got? What you got
podcast.
for me?
Industries.
Shout out to James Worthy. This is my homie right here, man. Like
Oh, yeah, we
anytime
fam.
we've ever spoke, it's just been all love, and I appreciate
course.
you. I just want to give you your flowers.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead and tell everybody what makes you the industry's most wanted.
What makes me the industry's most wanted is I'm pure. I'm authentic. I'm a leader. I never followed anybody.
Yeah.
I've always been my own person. So I think that's what y'all hear from me and what y'all see from me is just authenticity.
Yeah. Most definitely. I love it. And that's 100%. You're speaking 100% facts.
Appreciate
I
that.
stamped that.
I stamp that. I stamp that. I love it. I love it.
Same thing, Big Gibb, man. Like, you know, I we already know, but you
I'm
go ahead and
just
tell
gonna
us.
Say just, hey man, there is no me without you. That's it.
That's so powerful. That is so powerful. I love that. Straight like that.
There's no me without you.
Say no more.
Yeah.
We up out of here, you guys.
Zaga.
Hey.